Welcome to ImpactX 2050. Our community curates impact investment and innovation trends globally in EdTech, HealthTech, and FoodTech. Every week, we put the spotlight on innovators and investors to listen to their impact stories. Profitable, sustainable, inclusive, and innovative is how we define impact. So what's your definition? Coming up now is our next guest. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Tamás. I'm one of the three co-founders and the CEO of XUND. As the name might suggest, I'm originally from Hungary. However, I'm living in Vienna, where also XUND as a company is based. And today I'm here to talk about XUND and how we're going to digitize interactions in the healthcare system.
Thanks so much for joining us, Tamás. As a first question for our audience, can you tell us a little bit about XUND and the problem that your company solves for the healthcare system?
So originally we started with the problem of the widening gap between the time that doctors and nurses in the healthcare system have and the time that patients would require. In Germany, the average doctor visit lasts only about 5 minutes, and we're talking about one of the most well-funded healthcare systems in the world. And the way we approach this problem is by automating and digitizing some of the interactions that today happen between patients and doctors. And we have created a software certified as a Class 2A medical device for that enables a healthcare company, such as an insurer or a hospital, to build fully automated digital interactions with their patients. And with this, assess symptoms or specific risk factors of the patient and help them to find the right next step in their patient journey.
Thanks for that, Tamás. And really interesting to hear how you're adding efficiencies to what, unfortunately, in most geographies is quite an inefficient system. And now a question a little bit more on yourself and your own journey. Is there a defining moment or maybe a defining person in your life which has brought you to where you are today in a professional sense?
Probably there are a number of those, but if I would have to pick one, it's probably my co-founder, Lukas. So as I said in the beginning, I'm originally from Hungary, but I moved to Austria, to Vienna, at the age of 10 to attend a boarding school. And that's actually where I met Lukas. And we basically grew up together. And throughout our high school years, we always planned of founding our own companies. Then fortunately, after high school, we went into different directions. I studied business, he studied political sciences, but then around the age of 27, we came back together and decided, okay, now it's time to found our own company. And this is how XUND came to be.
Thanks, Tamás, and always so important to have a strong founding team. Great to hear about the history there. And I'm curious to understand, and I think you touched on it in your answer to the first question as it relates to the problems in the healthcare system, which XUND is solving as a company. But is there a particular challenge in the healthcare space that keeps you up at night and that you're looking to address with your technology and with your product?
I think the healthcare system has a number of challenges, and solving them should keep all of us awake at night. And I would hope that the more people would think about how we could solve those issues. But I think in the end, it really boils down to the problem of how we can maintain the human touch of the healthcare system with this growing gap between the demand and the supply of human resources in the system. And paradoxically, we believe that if we can digitize some of the interactions that shouldn't happen in our opinion, between two humans today. Through this, we will open up and free up capacities for those interactions between the doctor and their patient that really matter, where they should spend significantly more time than 5 minutes to educate the patient, to calm them, and to make sure that they're feeling that they feel taken care of.
And I may just go a little bit off script here, Tamás, and just ask you, in practice, with the different stakeholders within the healthcare segment, so talking about the 4 Ps, providers, payers, patients, and physicians, how do you address that problem for your customers within that wider ecosystem?
Yeah, so basically what we have created is a you would call it a Swiss Army knife for creating digital interactions with a patient. And depending on the company that's using our technology, the outcome and the way it looks can be very different. So let me give you a few examples. So an insurance company, for instance, can relocate themselves along the patient journey. So today, health insurer is typically located at the end. So the patient gets sick, they experience symptoms, go to 1, 2, 3 doctors. Typically, they ignore all the services which the healthcare insurer has in offer for them, and then in the end, they hand in the bill. And with our technology, a company like Generali, which is probably one of our most renowned customers, can relocate themselves to the beginning of the patient journey and start interacting with the patient when they are beginning to experience their symptoms, take them by the hand, and right in the beginning, navigate them to the right healthcare provider, thus saving costs for the insurance company and improving the medical outcome for the patient. Another example could be a hospital. So today, if you would go into the Semmelweis University Hospital here in Budapest, where I'm sitting today, the first interaction you would have in the emergency room would be with an iPad that is asking you the same questions that the doctor will later on, but it's collecting the data, structuring it, and playing it into the hospital information system so that it can be used to improve medical outcomes later on. And a third example could be a pharmaceutical company who can develop, using our technology, augmented pharmaceuticals, where you have a pill and the digital component that's coming with it that is regularly interacting with the patient and observes how the medication is actually affecting the health of the patient. Not just with the measurable data that you can measure with your smartwatch, but also on the level of symptoms like, are you feeling tired? Are you feeling sick? Do you have abdominal pain, headache? Stuff you cannot measure today. But with our technology, you can turn this data into an actionable data set. So these are a few examples. And as I said, all of these use cases, we are serving with one and the same core product. And depending on what our partners build on top of it, the outcome can look very different.
So it sounds to me as though XUND really goes beyond these technologies, which would help to ease perhaps the administrative burden of doctors or of other healthcare stakeholders, and moves really into the health data capture and some of the patient interactions, easing the time that these very busy people have to interact with more and more patients and create more value for those individuals. And what I would love to understand for you, Tamás, and for XUND as a company, if we were to have this same conversation 5 years from today, what would have happened in your life, personally and professionally, for you to be happy with your progress looking back?
I get this question quite often in recent times, and the answer, and it might not be too satisfying for you, is I have defined at the very beginning when we started XUND 3 main goals for us as a company, where I said, if we reach those, I will be happy, irrespective of how the outcome will be. And those were one person deciding that they want to work for us, one client deciding that they want to buy our product, and one investor deciding that they want to put money into the company. And we basically achieved all 3 of them. So for me, everything that happens from now is really the joyride part, and I really enjoy it day in, day out. But obviously, we have a higher vision to where we want to be in 5 years from now. And there's a number of different perspectives I want to look at it. On the one hand is the geographical reach. We were born in Vienna, Austria, and we're expanding now through the UK, hopefully soon also into the US. And in 5 years from now, ideally, I would hope we are present in the US, in Europe, and in Asia, and really having a global impact on the healthcare systems. Also, in terms of the patient life cycle, we want to expand. So today, we're very much focused on symptomatic patients that have not yet received their final diagnosis. That has been our core business. And we want to expand before and after that phase into prevention and patient monitoring. And we're launching a number of new product modules in the course of this year that will enable us to do so. And then last but not least, looking at the team, I think one of our biggest strengths at XUND is the really fantastic team culture and the motivation of every single individual that works for us. And over the next 5 years, I hope we will grow significantly as a team. And if we manage to maintain this mindset within the team, I will be very happy.
Thanks, Tamás. And it sounds like you're well on your way from one staff member, one investor, and one customer to 100, 100, 100, or 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So really excited to see that journey. The next stage of our interview today is a set of 5 rapid fire either or questions, which Tamás has not seen prior to our discussion today. So I'll just kick us off, and please do go with it, whichever response comes to mind first. So the first one of those, treatment or prevention?
Prevention.
Growth or profit?
It's a tricky one. A year ago, I would have said growth. Now, I'm tending towards profit.
It's very interesting to see how the markets have shifted, but I think that's an interesting answer, reflective of that shift. Fiction or non-fiction?
Fiction.
Morning or night?
Morning.
And perhaps linked to that, coffee or tea?
Very clearly coffee. Espresso.
I don't think I have ever interviewed a CEO who said tea instead of coffee. So that must tell you something. And finally, before we sign off today, Tamás, we have a tradition here at HealthTechX Stories where each interviewee nominates the next interviewee for a HealthTechX story. And so please, would you be so kind as to nominate the next interviewee?
Yeah, I think who would be a really interesting person to interview would be Lisa Rodwell from Day. They are revolutionizing the market of women's health products. They, I think, launched one of the first CBD tampons on the market. And yeah, I know Lisa from a few events, and I think she will have a lot of interesting insights to tell you.
Thank you so much, Tamás, and thank you so much for making the time to join us on HealthTechX Stories. We look forward to following XUND and to following you in the next stage of your journey. And thank you again.
Thanks for having me.